Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage in the UFC 300 main card is ruining UFC 300 for me a little bit. And I know a lot of MMA fans are not happy with this. And I have seen that both guys have defended their placement on the card, but that's just because they're the ones involved on the card and in this spot. There's just a lot more deserving guys to take that slot, and a lot more fights that would be a lot more exciting to open the main card. For example, Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic to me is the fight that should open the main card of UFC 300. You know, Jiri Prochazka is a former champion, and he's done a lot more to deserve that slot than these guys. It's just a reality. I'm not trying to batch any of them, but the bout order really is a lot more important than maybe even the UFC realizes, because if you have a banger of a fight with Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic, and then you open the main card with this fight, and it just happens to be a extremely dominant fight where Bo Nickal just quickly finishes his opponent. It takes away like the excitement. The excitement will have to stop, and then we will have to get re-excited for Charles Oliveira versus Armin Sarukian, and it's just not there. It's just not there. To be the opening of UFC 300, this main card, this fight was not it for it. I think this fight should have been the opener of the prelims before Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. I think that would have been a perfect fight placement for this card, to open up the regular prelims, and it just is. When you look at Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm, they've done a lot more than these guys. Kayla Harrison is a former Bellator champion, former PFL champion, and she's trying to make her debut to become the bantamweight champion of UFC 335. So this fight between Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm has some title implications, at least for Kayla Harrison, where she can become a contender. This fight between Bo Nickal and Cody Brundage does absolutely nothing for either of them. It really does. So just even the stakes of it should be taken into account. What the people have done, the level of excitement. Holly Holm is a former UFC champion. You know, they just haven't done enough, Bo Nickal and Brundage, to warrant this spot. And not only have they not done enough, but the fight itself is not going to be as exciting as Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. It's just not going to be. And I'm less pumped for this fight than for Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. So it really does affect um, the excitement for UFC 300 having this fight open the main card of said pay per view. I would have much rather pay to see Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic than to pay to see Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage, if that makes sense. Even though we're gonna see all of the fights anyway, but UFC 300 would be fine without this fight. It'd be completely fine. It might actually be better without this fight. You could remove this fight and put Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic in the opening fight of the main card, and just based on how the flow of the fight card goes, it will likely be better than having this fight in. And you could have Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar be the main event of the prelims, and then this UFC 300 would actually feel to me a lot better than when with this fight opening the main card. Tell me what you guys think. Like and subscribe.